Hello, it is Tuesday, July 9th, 2019. I haven't looked at YouTube lately to see how many followers I have, but today's my birthday, and today I'm going to do a video that's kind of an unboxing video on my birthday present. So what I got for my birthday, this is a Centennial book Charkha we got from New World Trading Company, which is Eileen Hallman's Charkha.biz. I would highly recommend her for anything. If you're looking for an Indian book Charkha, this one is made in India by E-Trading Lines. It's been souped up from the traditional Indian book Charkha. This is the one to get. Because they've basically taken the clunkiness out of your traditional Indian book Charkha and fixed it. So I'm going to open it up. And I did not have my skein winder in there secure. But so with this book Charkha, let me get these back in here. So typically with a book Charkha, there's a place for everything. Everything's in its place. This one is no different. So I open it up, and things with the Indian book Charkha that you have to look out for. You have to look out for nails. You have to look for these little holes if they line up with the skein winder. You have to look for nails here, which there are none here. And you have to look for alignment issues. This one is basically ready to go. It's set up almost identical to your traditional Indian book Charkha. So I am going to, they've included O-rings for the drive bands, which is nice. Instead of the rope sometimes has knots that catch. This is kind of a knotless thing. So with your Charkha, you want to make sure you've got this on. If you get this one, make sure you take off this O-ring when you're not spinning, because these can stretch out over time. The crank handle and the knob. So this goes right there, and it clips into place. So there's a little latch. This knob goes right there. This here is different. This is your skein winder. It is held in place by magnets. So there are right there's a magnet. There's another magnet in the box. It holds it in place. That is nice. So when you're setting up your Charkha with the spindles, there's a kickstand on the mousetrap. It's called a mousetrap because it behaves like a mousetrap. It plops into place. This I'm discovering that there's little hinges you have to look out for. They kind of get in the way of the kickstand when it's in this position. So mousetrap up. There are differences in the spindle. With your normal Indian book Charkha, this disc is free flowing. You have to switch around the leather disc. Here they've got it kind of incorporated with a rubber stopper, so that spindle disc is going to stay put. This bearing is where it's supposed to be, which for shipping, usually the little leather bearing is on the other side of the spindle to keep that disc on. On this one, it's where it's supposed to be, so you can just put your spindle on the bearings. It's also nice that there's a permanent bearing that is not the cotton string. Those cotton string bearings will wear out. You have to oil them. So with your traditional Indian Charkha, it needs lots of oil. It eats oil. You have to be careful of your bearings because they have a tendency of wearing through. They can be replaced with either soda straws or leather bearings. So, and at this point, this is ready to spin. Eileen sent in another drive band that's made out of a crochet cotton. I think this is to make this faster. Another thing with the book Charkha is the placement of this band here determines which direction this spins. So if you want to change directions, you don't change the direction you spin it. You take this drive band and you'll flip it. So if the top is going towards the outside, that's going to be S-ply or S-twist. If the top, one going from the top going to the inside, that is your traditional Z-twist. So, and you can see, you can probably hear, this is really smooth. So this is probably the perfect hybrid between your traditional Indian book Charkha and the Bosworth Charkha. If you can't afford the price tag of the Bosworth Charkha, which I highly recommend those two because they are fantastic and a dream to spin on. But if you can't afford that price tag, this one is about $200. So that it's very affordable for a book Charkha. So I've got some cotton here. I have not spun on this yet. This is my birthday present, so I was saving it for my birthday. My trick on the cotton, you saw me feeling it. What I'm feeling for here is the nap. So you have people say, spin on it if it starts lumping, you turn it around. I don't do that. I feel for the nap. So what I'm feeling for is one way I will rub this, and you've got to have very sensitive fingers for this. One way you will stroke this, and it will lie down, and the other way it will raise up. Like it's kind of like going with the grain and going against the grain. So this is with the grain. So what I do here, and I'm going to do my little trick of opening up the fiber. So as you see, this is a trick I learned from Eileen's video. So Eileen Hallman's spinning on the Charkha. I learned the trick of opening up the fiber. I use it with all my fibers. My trick is if I rub this fiber and I'm going with the grain instead of against the grain. This is against the grain, this is with the grain. You probably can't see it, but I can feel it. That's the idea you're going for. So I want to go with the grain, and towards me, the end of this here is the end that goes on the Charkha. So I just caught a little bit here, and I'm sorry you can't see my spindle. Let me see if I can adjust this to see the spindle a little better. So I went with the grain, and that's the direction to spin. I draft out, and I got a little thin there. It just came off the end here. So I've started my spindle now. I'm just going to do a little bit of spinning so you can see the spinning on the Charkha. and see how smoothly this is if you are experienced with an Indian book charkha. It normally is not this smooth. I really highly recommend this charkha. Eileen has it as the Centennial Charkha. If you go to etradinglines.com, they've got it as their traditional charkha. I am hoping that they keep this one and that it's not just a one-off thing, because this is really a fantastic tool. Highly recommend. It's going to fill the niche that we're lacking now, where you have a quality charkha at a price that's more affordable, because the Bosworth charkhas, they are like gold. They are fantastic. They are hard to get a hold of. So there's usually a waiting list, and the price on them is out of some people's reach. This one is much more affordable. And I know I have some lumps in my fiber here. It's because it's been a while since I've spun cotton. I am spinning from the right direction on this cotton. I'm just getting some lumps because I'm out of practice with this fiber. So anyway, this is my review. It just broke. That happens. On what Eileen Hallman is calling the Centennial Charkha. E-Trading Lines has it as their traditional book charkha, their standard charkha. Really impressed with this. It really fills the gap of what I've been missing in charkhas. So if you have any questions, put questions in the comments. I'll try and answer them. Like and subscribe, and I'm thrilled that you guys have watched. I will talk to you later. Bye. If I can get my